What's going on, everybody? Today we are going to make ourselves a great dip to use for the holiday season this year. We're going to go with a crab and shrimp dip that we're going to prepare on the smoker. So let's get started. All right, you guys, this is actually going to be a really easy recipe to make. It'll take us about 20 minutes to prep all the things that we're going to put together today. Some of it I've already prepped, so for the video purposes, it'll be super fast. We'll put all these ingredients together today, and then we're going to fold them in my cast iron here, get it on the smoker, a little bit of a higher temperature, and then let it cook today so it gets nice and bubbly, and we'll pull it off and it'll be ready to serve. Now for this recipe today, we're going to use two different seafood items. We got that crab and the shrimp. Shrimp's easy. Buy yourself about a ½ pound of cooked shrimp, dice them up, and they're ready to go, all right? For that crab meat, you could use some cooked, like maybe Alaskan crab legs, something like that. If you really wanted that, I would not use the imitation crab meat, but we're gonna do things a little different. So once upon a time, I lived for about 6 years in Southern Maryland, loved eating those Chesapeake Bay crabs. So I've got myself today from Phillips out of Baltimore, Maryland, some lump crab meat. So we're going to use that. And of course, because we're with that Maryland flair, the seasoning we're going to use today is some Old Bay. So let's start making that dip. Okay, my friends, first three ingredients we're going to get in here, and then we'll slightly blend those together before we add some more ingredients. So for this recipe, you could use 8 ounces of softened cream cheese and then spice it up even more if you want. I thought, you know what, I'd cut out the middleman a little bit today. So I'm not cheating. I'm getting the softened Philadelphia cream cheese that already has those spicy jalapeños in there. 7.5 ounces instead of 8, but you know what? I don't think it's gonna make much of a difference. So we'll go ahead and get that cream cheese here in our bowl. And then what we'll do is we'll be ready for our next ingredient that we're gonna go ahead and slide in here at the same time. Next, we're gonna go with ourselves with about ½ cup of mayonnaise. So like ½ cup mayonnaise, of course, I'm going with the Dukes. All right, and I'm just gonna kind of eyeball this one. And actually not ½ cup, that's what I said. It's actually, we need about ¼ cup. All right, there we go, my friends. We got that ¼ cup in there of that Dukes, and we're gonna go with the same amount, about ¼ cup of sour cream that we're gonna put in here as well. All right, so we'll start with those three. We'll start to blend those together here with that softened cream cheese in here. And then after this, we're gonna go through and add a few more ingredients. Okay, that's all we really need to do. We don't need to get it too crazy here. Just kind of slightly blend those things together and get my spoon out of the way. And then what we'll do next is go ahead and add in some more ingredients. So now we're gonna go with about a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. Remember, try to shred it yourself. Grab that block for that cheddar cheese. Now for this recipe, you could go with a sharp or a medium. I'm gonna go with that medium cheddar today because it will melt a little easier here, since it's not gonna be in that smoker very long. So go with that. And then we want some Parmesan cheese, looking about 3/4 of a cup of that shredded Parmesan. So I'm gonna kind of eyeball this one here. I am cheating and not shredding my own Parmesan today. I know. Not my favorite thing to do. I typically like to shred it myself, but I am trying to speed things up a little bit. Then I'm gonna go with just a little bit of chopped up green onion. We're gonna go with a little bit of that Old Bay seasoning. I'm going with about a little over 2 teaspoons here, give or take. And then I've got myself just a little bit of zest here. So I took a small lemon and zested that lemon, because we got that seafood. That lemon taste is gonna be great as well. And then you could save that lemon and squeeze some of it over top of the dip when you're done, if you like to as well. So then we'll take that spoon again, kind of continue to mix these together just a little bit. All right. Now you can tell from this recipe, you're not gonna be making a ton of dip, so you could double up on every ingredient if you need to as well. All right, so we got that in there. Now it's time to add in our last 2 items here, friends. We're gonna go with the shrimp. So I chopped up those shrimp, those cooked shrimp. We'll place those in there. Now, when you do something like this, try to get as much moisture out of those as possible. You don't want that moisture in there when you're cooking this at home on the smoker or even in the oven. And then we got also, of course, the Phillips crab meat. We're gonna take that in there, break it all up. And then we're going to spend some time just slowly now kind of folding this over. I don't want to break up my crab meat too much more than it already is. So now I really want to take my time. And then after this, you can hit it with a little bit of salt and pepper as well. So I'm going to continue to fold this for a moment, and then we're going to get it into our pan. Okay, now I'm ready to take my ingredients here. I'm going to go ahead and take it all, get it into that cast iron. And then we'll spread it nice and evenly in here as well. Okay, you can see I've gotten everything flattened down here nice and evenly, so it gets an even cook in the smoker. That's all we need to do, so let's head on out to the smoker. Got it on the smoker. Let's close that lid and let it smoke. All right, let's take a look here. It's been about a half hour. Oh yeah, we got some bubbling around the edges. I think it's ready to take this off and give it a taste test. All right, so we're back down in the man cave here just in time as I make this here on Saturday. Watch a little college football down here with this dip today. I'm kind of really excited. You can just smell the crab meat, and I can smell that Old Bay and that blend of cheeses just standing here, my friends. Remember, we use that Phillips lump crab meat. You use whatever fresh crab meat you can find, like a cooked crab meat. Once again, like I said, you could go Alaskan crabs, whatever you want to do. None of which are going to be inexpensive, just so you know. So this is not a cheap dip to make, but hopefully very, very enjoyable. All right, so we're going to go ahead and garnish it, and then we'll give it a taste test. So in the holiday spirit, thinking this could be a great dip to serve here to friends over the holidays as well, we're going to hit a little bit of red, a little bit of green. So we're going to go with some more of those onions, those green onions around the top here. All right. And then I diced up some Roma tomato. So put that on there as well. All right. I love that Roma tomato, so I'm gonna put as much of it as I can on here. Get a little more of that green onion in there for that color as well. Grab that paper towel, wipe my hand off here, and I'm sure that cast iron is still nice and hot. So I'll grab this, give you guys a little sneak peek. All right, we'll pause for a moment, let it continue to cool because that pan is super hot, and then we'll give it a taste test. All right, moment of truth. So to serve this, you could use tortilla chips, maybe some pita bread. I'm gonna go with a nice crunchy tostini, all right? So we're gonna, because I'm using that crunch, I'm gonna grab myself a spoon and spread it on here as well. Make sure I get some of that tomato in there today. Ooh, it's just running right off here because it's still nice and piping hot. All right, my friends, moment of truth. Time for that taste test. I'm sure we'll get the crunch in the mic as well. Wow. I'm so glad I used that lump crab meat today. Absolutely amazing. That crab meat is just definitely forward, and then you can get that hint of that shrimp as well, that cooked shrimp. And then that Old Bay seasoning. My friends, you can never go wrong with Old Bay. Absolutely delicious. Great blend of cheeses as well. This is going to be a fun appetizer, delicious appetizer to enjoy today while I watch some college football. Also going to be a great one for you guys to enjoy with your family and friends here during the holiday season. Hope you guys enjoy this one. We'll see you guys again on Bones and Brews.